I was standing in the shower this morning with my back to the water, and all of a sudden the water stopped hitting my back. I turned around, and the shower head was spinning. The inner plastic piece was rotating counterclockwise, and the metal shower head was rotating clockwise. I was scared and excited at the same time, and in total amazement at this bizarre sight. I grabbed the shower head, and I tightened it back in place, and then I loosened it again, trying to recreate my miracle by the sheer physics of it all. But nothing happened. I've come to believe that if something makes you feel better by believing in it, you should choose to. So I take comfort in the idea that he is somehow still with us. There was a time when he threatened to leave. Was it love or fear that prevented him from going? We never spoke about the way his illness affected our relationship. I'm sure it affected travel, sex, career plans, stuff like that. We spoke about those things. But the way it both eventually bound and consumed us, we never spoke about that. We were like two runaway trains coming from opposite directions, yet sharing the same track and heading toward the same destination. But it wasn't only our lives that ultimately connected and imploded at that point of impact. Those of you who have survived this type of collision know there's an aftermath to an impossible decision when unstoppable love crashes into immovable beliefs. The permanent injury that remains can leave a scar so deep that in your anguish you imagine it might stretch all the way to your very soul.
In the end, not having acted in New York for such a long time, well, it became easier for me to share my secret. It was with the IRS. They can usually strike terror in anyone's heart, so it wasn't surprising to me that I broke out into a cold sweat. I thought my handwriting was steady as I filled out my occupation on my federal tax return. On the 1040 form where you sign, it asks for occupation. Well, it took power and determination for me to write the word waiter. I felt like a has-been celebrity guest on What's My Line. That was the secret word. The panel was comprised of my friends and family. All of you sitting as critics watched as I accepted the abandonment of my most cherished ambitions and the acceptance of my worst fears. That was my last performance as an actor. I could see my dreams morphing into nightmares. My worst fear, of course, was not really being a waiter. There are worse things than being a waiter. Well, maybe not in New York. Writing that word was the first time that I noticed it. Maybe it was a change in the size of some of the letters, or an almost imperceptible unsteadiness to my usually distinctive scrawl. But seeing that word waiter, deep down I knew it wasn't fear or ego that made it appear foreign to me. My handwriting had changed forever, along with my life.
Where are you headed?
Into town. I'm going to the movies.
Want a lift? I'm heading there myself.
Maybe. Do I know you?
What movie are you going to see?
The Sunshine Boys.
How old are you?
Almost 16. You're not from around here, are you?
No, just passing through. Been on the road for a week now. I'll be happy to go back home.
Where's home?
Half a day's drive from here. Won't be long now.
Yeah.
You look a lot more mature than most 16-year-olds. I couldn't help noticing that. Oh, never mind. You got a girlfriend?
Noticing what?
Well, I guess what with you wearing those tight jeans, you must know.
What?
Well, it's hard to believe that you're just 16.
What are you looking at, mister?
Don't get nervous. I got a girl back home. But when you haven't been laid in a week, well, you know, it's just natural curiosity.
I guess.
It don't mean nothing to look. Besides, talking sex just passes the time.
I suppose.
Sure can make a man real horny, though. So now you're looking at my crotch, aren't you?
Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. Go on. You can look at it. It's a pretty big package, if I say so myself.
Look, mister, I really just want to lift into town.
Maybe, but I can see you unwrapping it with your eyes. You ever see a real man's rock-hard cock?
I think I should get out.
It's just a question. Don't mean nothing.
Sure, my own.
No, I mean a real man. You're just a boy. I got about the biggest one you'll ever see. I knew when I stopped to pick you up, you're the type of boy with natural curiosity. You want to see, don't you?
I told you, I got a girl back home, too.
Sure you do, and I told you it don't mean nothing to look.
All right, well, just a little peek, that's all, okay, mister?
Pretty, isn't it? Biggest one you'll ever see.
Wow, it is big.
Go on, touch it, boy. You want to touch it, don't you?
Maybe, but I don't think I should.
Just touch it, I'll pretend it's my girl. Talking sex sure can make you horny. There's no harm if you just touch it for a second, then I'll put it away. Just wanted to show it off to a boy with your natural curiosity.
You don't mind if I change the music, do you?
Maybe I do mind. Don't assume that I want what you want, and don't take me for granted.
Whoa, where is this coming from?
Outer space. An alien has come down to Earth and taken hold of me. Its feeders are sucking on me, eating away at my purpose and gnawing at my soul.
Well, my apologies, Sigourney. I didn't recognize you at first. I'm sorry if it seems I'm taking you for granted.
No, I'm sorry. My mind was elsewhere. Once again, I was just being a drama queen.
I know, but believe me, I don't take you for granted.
I really am sorry about that. How was your day?
No, it was okay. Quite strange you should talk about taking things for granted, though.
Do you want something to drink?
Yeah, that'd be nice. I saw this patient at the end of the afternoon for an upper respiratory infection. As I was about to leave the room, she told me that I probably didn't remember her. She was right. I took another look at her name, and it seemed familiar, but I couldn't quite place it. And then she reminded me of how I had saved her life over 10 years ago. When she'd had to change insurance carriers, she was forced to change doctors as well, and she told me that every night for the past 10 years, she mentions my name in her prayers as she thanks God for my place in her life, and I couldn't remember her.
That's what makes me so proud of you. Saving lives is just second nature to you. All the same, don't take me for granted.
Are you acting now?
Yes, but not very well if it shows. Besides, I may just not be here someday.
What are you talking about?
For a genius, you don't know anything sometimes. I told you I can't remember orders at the restaurant correctly. I'm forgetting things that I never would have before.
We did an MRI scan of your brain and everything's fine. Like any other gay man, you have a wonderfully small hypothalamus.
Then why is my handwriting so unsteady?
You are making too much out of little things. You're just stressed out.
Well, maybe you should spend more time with me.
Okay, now you're being ridiculous. I don't know any other couple that does as much together as we do.
Going to movies every night is not fun for me. I only do it because you want to.
Okay, well, what about the dinner, theater, opera? Did you forget about all that? And you don't seem to have any trouble leaving me at home when you go out with your friends.
Well, you could join us.
Well, you all talk shop. No, thank you.
You should really try harder to understand.
Okay, well, I need a little time for me.
Well, you're not the one who has to deal with everything that I'm going through.
No, who else does that but me?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean it
We
that
have
way.
enough melodrama, please. You are not dying, so don't expect me to behave like you're on your deathbed when you're fine.
You just don't get it, though. Even before this illness, my self-confidence was a little shaky.
It's crazy. You've always believed in your talent.
It's not my talent that I question. It's like the way houses are built on Fire Island, built on sand, supported by stilts, with no foundation. An ego built in such a weak fashion is always teetering on the edge, so when its underpinnings are knocked out, it'll collapse faster than a beach house in a hurricane.
There is nothing wrong with your underpinnings. Now, will you just try to get along and stop trying to make me feel so guilty?
If you feel guilty, it's not because of me.
Oh, no, let's blame my mother.
I don't believe you sometimes. What time did you get home last night?
Around 5 a.m.?
I thought it was more like 8 a.m. I can understand if you want to go out partying and dance, but why can't you come home at a decent hour?
5 a.m. is a decent hour, and I'm fine.
Well, maybe I'm not. You seem to think that I do everything to get this apartment ready for this party, and you're the one who wanted to throw it in the first place. And you say you don't take me for granted.
I'm helping, okay? If you didn't have to work every Saturday night at the restaurant, you wouldn't be so tired on a Sunday.
I do it because I have to. It's the only night that I can make any decent
You
tips.
do not have to. I've told you before, you should stop waiting tables.
And what? Start collecting my allowance like some 50s housewife?
I meant, now that you finally have an agent.
But it doesn't mean shit if I don't get cast, and it doesn't mean shit if I don't make it till opening night.
But don't expect me to just sit at home and wait for you to... Forget it, okay? My week is tough enough. I need to unwind.
Did you do drugs last night?
Did I do drugs last night? Honey, no, not really.
Well, I don't believe you. You look like shit today. You should really take better care of yourself. You're not getting any younger.
Can we please try not to start a fight today?
Look, I've had it. You can finish getting everything ready for the guests. I'm going to go have a bath. And get the door.
I got it.
Happy anniversary.
You're early.
Well, Mary, just call me Rhoda.
I'd rather be Lucy, Ethel.
Just chalk it up to another benefit of being next door neighbors.
Craig is taking another one of his ritual baths.
You had another fight, and he's back to the baptismal bathtub.
Are you one of those alliterative psychics?
I wish I could foretell the fucking future.
It was no real fight, it's just the same old shit.
At what hour did you get home this time?
Late enough, apparently. I just need to get out, be a little wild.
Get a little laid.
Look, if we have sex twice a year now, it's an event. We can sell tickets.
You never sell me tickets.
You wouldn't pay.
If I were you, I wouldn't count on making much money from ticket sales.
You're right about that. Besides, I never expected him to... Do you know that he is now actually turned off by sex? So what am I supposed to do? We have an unspoken arrangement, am I wrong?
No. Human.
I really do still love him. That ought to be enough. I just can't sit home all the time. I'm so scared of losing him, and at the same time, I need to escape. I'm just a mess.
What you are is the best thing that's ever happened in his life. But don't expect him to see things from your point of view. It's asking too much from him right now. That's why you have a thither.
Well, somebody else might have left him a long time ago. It does happen, you know. Oh, why don't you make yourself a drink, Barry?
Thank you. So, there's anyone who's coming to know about Craig's MS?
I am sure they all speculate as they dish about everybody anyway. I do not know why Craig refuses to tell the truth to anybody but us. When he asked us to come up with an illness that would, explain his symptoms, I should have said no.
I can only imagine the kind of pressure that you're under. Doesn't he know that I'd be more than happy to take over his medical supervision? I think it'd be a lot easier on both of you if you could just be his lover and not his doctor.
I'm sure he realizes that, but the truth of the matter is that his love and his... Would you get that for me, honey? Yeah, Craig is going to kill me if I don't get this place cleaned up.
Okay.
I just can't abandon him, I'm the only one he trusts.
Hello? Hello? God, I hate these things.
Yeah, throw it on the floor.
Hello? Hello? Hi! Hey, how you doing? It's Herman from Rotterdam. What are you doing in Holland? How are you? Oh. Well, that's a shame, but it's bound to be just a cosmetic. Why are you staying at your mother's? Ugh. Well, what about your horses? How long has it been since you've ridden? Oh, that's too bad. Well, listen, What? No, I don't believe you. I think you're just depressed. When? Tomorrow. I love you? Yes, he's here. I'll put him on. He wants to talk to you. You won't believe this.
Hi, Herman. How are you? You decided what? When? Tomorrow? Are you sure? What does Ian say? He's with you. Your mother, too? I don't know what to say. No, I guess there isn't much to say. Yeah, I love you, too. I miss you. Okay. Goodbye till then. Fuck, doesn't anybody believe in coming fashionably late anymore? That is the fucking slap in the face.
This is not about you.
Considering everything we did for him.
It's not about us
You
either.
guys gotta be far more depressed than we could have realized.
Of course he's depressed. His life is over. Why prolong the separation?
Bullshit. You did not let somebody kill themselves just because they're depressed.
Euthanasia is legal in Holland.
I don't give a shit if it's legal. It's totally wrong. Morally, practically, and ethically.
Calm down, calm down. I'm at the door.
Do not mention this phone call to anybody. It's going to ruin the evening. I'll tell Craig later.
Okay. Hi, hey, come on in. You must be Alan, right? I'm Barry. I'm Stephen's partner in the medical practice.
I've heard so much about you. It's a pleasure to finally meet you.
You. Let me take your coat.
Hey, Alan. It's good to see you.
Hey.
Thanks for coming.
Happy anniversary, Steve.
God, that is so sweet. You didn't have to do that. You.
Where's Craig?
He's still getting ready. Why don't you have a seat?
Why do you want to drink?
Club soda's fine.
I think I need a martini.
Club soda. Okay. One club soda.
Hello, boys.
One martini.
Just in time for drinks.
Okay.
Barry, see with the boys in the back room will have and make mine a martini.
A martini. That's 2 martinis. Okay. Your drinks. Club soda for the teetotaler. Martini for the non-teetotaler. Okay. I'm off your runway, okay? All right.
What is this supposed to be anyway? Destry rides off into the Sunset Boulevard?
I think I see some bits of Liza Minnelli floating around in there.
Doesn't that sound like every pool party on Fire Island?
I think it's just a little over the top.
What's the matter?
Well, our dinner reservations are at the Four Seasons. They do have a dress code, you know.
Well, this is up to code. Hell, it's way above code. It's the avant-garde of fashion.
Yeah,
Listen.
for wartime Berlin.
Mira, even if they let you in through the service entrance, I doubt that they will see you.
What, you don't like my shade of lipstick, Liebchen?
Oh, Liebchen, I love your lipstick.
Then you don't like the outfits?
No, I like the outfit. I like your legs.
Personally, I like that tight ass.
Personally, so do I. I
All
just
right.
hope you're not cold in that costume, sweetie.
Raise them up, gentlemen. A toast to the
Wait a
anniversary
moment.
couple.
86 a toast for just a second. I have something really special to tell you all. It's sort of a double celebration for me. I finally have an agent.
One of the biggest agents in the business.
Shut right up. That is so incredible. I'm so... congratulations.
I'm so way jealous. How did you get
It's
it?
the Lana Turner story.
Even I don't get that reference.
Schwab's drugstore.
Ignore
Philistine.
him. Anyways, this guy would come into the restaurant a couple of times each week. He would always sit in my section, and when it was slow, we would chat about the theatre. Well, I'm sorry, Diane.
It's all right.
Did you spill again? Lord have
I'm
mercy.
sorry. But he would always sit in my section. We would chat about the theatre. Well, one day, he threw this huge birthday bash. Thank you, love.
Anytime.
Considering us both to be friends, I belted out happy birthdays while with Judy playing the palace.
And when the applause died down, this guy hands him his card and tells him to come down to his office for a proper audition.
I thought only Steven got to see it.
Don't be so crass. Besides, I was thinking the same thing too. All these years and all these guys and come-ons and people that just wanted to go to bed. So what's he really want? But I figured I had nothing to lose, so I called him and I auditioned. Well, afterwards we chatted for hours and hours. He was for real. I've been hoping for all these years. Believe it or not, I was finally discovered. All because of a song that I utterly detest, Happy Birthday. I now have an agent.
Well, hallelujah. That is something to toast to.
To Craig, and to us, all of whom have left the restaurant business behind.
Restaurant business?
Oh, yeah. Stephen and I used to own a restaurant. Doctors by day, restaurateurs by night.
And Craig was a waiter there.
Now I'm off the lead in a new musical. I won't say any more though unless it comes through.
Oh, cheers.
To you. And happy birthday.
Wow, God, now I'm really so way jealous. And maybe your voice teacher was right, having you sing all those arias instead of show tunes.
There comes a time in your life when your heart connects more directly to Butterfly than Lori in Oklahoma.
It's because the arias, they connect my heart with the primal passions of my soul.
Ow.
It's the Force, Alan.
Yes, Obi-Wan. Oh, we're expecting someone else.
I thought it was just...
Why, that fucking little shit, I don't believe it.
What is it? Wait. Oh my god, of all the fucking nerve. What is he doing? Ignore it.
Aren't you going to answer it? Or what's going on? I'll get it if you guys
Stephen,
are.
I can't believe that you invited that pretentious piece of Parisian Euro trash.
Talk about alliteration.
Well, you know, we never actually uninvited.
You actually invited the walking Coke bottle?
Well, I never thought he'd come after the way he behaved at the last party.
Well, that's just like him. Free drinks and dinner, and he's there.
I still can't believe the way he behaved at the last party. I mean, he was fucked up on cocaine, acid, ecstasy.
He's bad news. His friends are bad news. There's much more to life than doing drugs and being a party boy. Besides, he's going to be a very sorry, lonely old man one day.
I feel kind of sorry for him now.
He was so twisted. He showed up with his newest trick and then accused us both of trying to get in the boy's pants. Fucking him over, ruining his life. Well, he went into the bathroom and came out and was screaming obscenities. At one point I actually thought he would pick up a steak knife and try to kill me. You know, he never even called to apologize.
You didn't hear from him either, did you?
Guys, I think he just got out of rehab.
Who cares? I won't forgive him for the way he ruined that party. I mean, Craig pushed himself so hard to make it happen, and he wasn't feeling well at the time.
You know, I've forgiven him and I could care less. But darling, I have no interest in spending time with him outside of the restaurant. I have no interest in entertaining him in our home.
He has finally straightened
Well, that's
himself
a
out.
pretty big if.
Do you remember when he first came to New York? He was very charming and a lot of fun.
You know, I don't think we'll be dazzled by his charms tonight. I'll get it. And I'll regret it.
We will all regret it.
Try to be nice, okay? I'm gonna get another bottle of champagne out.
You better hide the good stuff. His mother's breasts must have been named Verb and Pico.
Can we just try not to let this ruin the evening, please?
Well, I can't be bothered with him. That's all there is to it. I mean, I don't even know him and he can go to hell.
Oh, that's too drastic, Alan. You should really reserve damnation for people you truly care about.
Well, I know him like family, and he can go to hell. Just drop him from your lives already. Oh, it's a great party, though. Can't wait to see what you do for Christmas.
We didn't think you were coming.
I was afraid neither were you. I really am much better now, thank you. Nice. Last year's?
You know, Philippe, we really didn't know what happened after
It's nothing. Of course I would come. Hello, everyone. Hello, Craig. Hello, Steven. Happy anniversary. Barry. Oh. Happy year. I usually know everyone.
I don't think you do know Alan. The rest of the gang's meeting us at the restaurant. Alan, Philippe.
My pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, likewise.
I'm sorry I'm late.
Oh, we counted on it. I mean, the last person who still believes in arriving fashionably late.
No! Can you believe I had to wear this suit all day? Well, I know I wouldn't have a chance to go home and change. You won't believe what happened to me today.
You remember that you had a party to go to?
Donc, I ordered a very special anniversary present that was shipped from Paris. It won't arrive for at least a week or two.
I think she wasn't hallucinating when she placed the order.
Thank you, Philippe.
Thanks, Philippe.
So what happened to you after the last fucking party? I mean, you could have called at some point. Were you so fucked up, you little pig fucker, that you couldn't think? Your best friends.
Paris. Don't be so rude.
I was in rehab. I would have called if I could have. But, well, I didn't. Donc, here's a little something for you, Craig. And this is for you, Steven. Please, open it.
Thank you.
They're really cute. That's sweet.
So, Alan, what's new with you? Any new boyfriends?
No, no new boyfriends for free.
I'm sure you would have no problem finding one if you wanted.
I miss the companionship. I find living alone gets pretty boring, don't you?
After all these years of being single, I don't think I would want to live with anyone. Besides, I come to this country to make my career.
Why here and not France?
Well, besides Marie Chevalier, how many famous French musical comedy stars do you know?
I don't even know him.
Brent, she. Does Gerard Depardieu sing?
I spent 15 years networking the gay theater community, and then most of them died.
Oh, that's so touching, isn't it, Stephen?
It's a fucking miracle I'm still here.
And aging. So gracefully.
God does work in mysterious ways.
Oh, Alan, you've been seeing that tarot card reader again, haven't you?
Well, there's just no way to date in this fucking city. I mean, most of these guys you meet today are flakes, and these kids... Well, you can't rely on any of them.
I don't believe that for a second. Now, I think that a younger boyfriend might put some life back into you. I mean, after all, Ms. Dorian Gray has halted the aging process.
It's the retin A samples.
Okay?
So how was your day? What happened?
Well, I would have been here sooner if it wasn't for my therapy group running late.
Oh my God, not another therapy story.
I just hope this one ends happier than the last one.
How can you joke about him going to therapy?
You try listening to 5 years of therapy stories.
Sweetie, some lucky ones are cast in musicals and the rest in therapy.
I hate to agree with this cruelty, but I'm really afraid it's true. Life is a bitch.
This one should have closed out of town.
You know, he only goes to therapy over the breakup with his boyfriend.
That can be very traumatic.
But they split up 5 years ago.
Oh, fuck all of you. Well, not you, Alan.
I'm sorry to leave. Tell us your story. We'll be nice, won't we, Craig?
Okay. Well, it was a really great session. Afterwards, some of us stayed behind and we discovered we had so much in common.
The same psychiatrist.
Is this like AA?
No, it's more like old neurotic investors in search of hot young entrepreneurs.
Stop interrupting me. I met someone.
Okay.
Stick to the sex.
No sex yet, but maybe a date finally.
God, I would never find a date that way. Can you imagine what you might wake up with?
Who are you kidding? It's practically Halloween every week in this place.
Oh, those nasty little trick-or-treaters.
Well, at least it's too.
So, with all your sex parties and tricks, I would have thought that you had forgotten how to date.
Well, you know, with dating you do have to try to remember their names.
What's in a name anyway? It's because tricks are dates and dates are boyfriends and boyfriends are lovers that gay relationships are measured in dog years.
So, Philippe does remember how to date?
Me and I've had a boyfriend, but they never last very long.
Some people just find it easier to run away rather than stay and work at a relationship.
Well, make a big joke of it if you want. But you know how Jimmy's death affected me. I've lost 3 of my closest friends over the years, so if it wasn't for my therapy group, I think that I would kill myself.
Who was Jimmy?
Philippe, you are not the only one who went through this. We all did.
Besides all you read in the papers, people still occasionally die.
Craig,
Don't get mad at
Craig
me.
and I lost someone very close to us not long ago.
Who?
Bill, the announcer who moved to Florida.
Not Bill from ABC News! No way, not Bill! Oh shit, I don't believe it. Why didn't someone tell me?
Oh my God, you knew Bill. I guess that was the wrong story.
Oh my God, I can't believe he's dead. Craig, why didn't you tell me?
I simply forgot that you knew him. Please, let's not turn this into your therapy group.
Is anyone going to tell me who was Jimmy?
Well, he was a friend of Craig's and Philippe's who used to work at the restaurant. He was an actor, singer, dancer, waiter.
Were you close to him too?
Yes, what a wonderful guy. He was so thoroughly outrageous. But he eventually went mad and drove his boyfriend Ed mad as well.
They were fighting at the end all the time over nothing.
Having your boyfriend run out of the house naked in the middle of the night is not nothing. Besides, they had to call the police to get him back in.
It happened more than once too. I never did know how Ed got through all that.
Well, Jimmy never knew how lucky he was to have such a loyal lover.
Well, when he finally went into that awful hospital, I hated going to see him there.
Visiting a friend in the hospital is bound to be unpleasant. But it's the flowers. That's what bothered me.
Flowers.
Yes, people who never cared for Jimmy before started showing up with flowers.
Well, you weren't there as much as I was. I was at that hospital almost every day!
Well, Stephen was afraid that I might catch something like TB or something that would hurt my voice.
I think I said VD or something.
Those nasty male nurses.
Well, I don't think that I would want to stick by someone through something like that. I mean, there are limits, you know? And the only reason why Ed stuck around was for the inheritance.
Well, that's a nasty thing to say.
If you loved someone, you'd stay with them. And I wondered why you don't have a boyfriend. You're unreal. You talk about egocentric. You think just because you live till 35, you're so fucking special?
35, it must be the lighting.
Let me tell you, you're not, honey.
Go girl.
When you only just met, usually it takes people a couple of weeks.
You're just being immature.
So when did Jimmy die?
No, I think it's a shame that some doctors still put their dying patients in the hospital.
A few years ago.
There's a time when almost everyone died at home.
Well, that's the way it should be with your loved ones, your friends at your bedside.
Stop me if I'm wrong, but don't you put them in the hospital to save them from dying?
Sometimes, but what if they can't be saved? What if they are just prolonging their suffering only to avoid death, you know?
Please don't get him started on this topic.
I have had enough of this morbid conversation for one evening.
He's right. This is supposed to be a party.
I'm sorry, let's have some champagne. It's supposed to be a celebration, right?
I'll get the champagne.
Hey! Ah! Now, we suffered through your drug fuck the last time. Stephen might be too timid to tell you, but I am not. Don't you dare snort that shit while you are in this house. You got it?
Well, I am sorry if I upset anyone. Really, I'm much better since rehab. I only do a little bit in moderation. But, well, I don't want to upset anyone. So please, let's have another drink, yeah? And I will make a toast.
I brought the champagne, okay?
So, which anniversary are we toasting?
The 9th.
Can you believe?
Can you believe you were only 22 when we met, and everybody who saw him thought he was somebody they should know. He had so much presence, always an actor.
I was ecstatic being in New York. 22 and ready to conquer the world. At least the only world that I cared about.
You go, girl. Show him that combination we learned in dance class.
Oh, my dad.
Can you, I think it's number 22 on the CD player.
22. Okay, now I don't have my glasses on, so let's hope we get the right one. Is that it?
I think so. Can you make it a bit louder?
You're so deaf. Here we go. Oh, I've seen this. I know this dance. I saw Jasmine Guy do this.
Craig, don't steal the show.
What? My new suit! I don't believe it! Quick, someone give me some ginger ale!
You goodness
it's
club
sit
soda.
down.
Craig, what's the matter?
Wait, what?
Can you
Go
hear
out
me?
like this? Someone find me some napkins!
Yes.
Is anything hurt?
Well, I'll be fine. Don't everyone help me at once.
What happened?
I just got a little shaken. I guess I really didn't eat anything before drinking today.
You know, his pulse is steady. Do you want to try standing up? Come on.
You know, don't worry, Craig. I think my new suit will be fine once it's dried off.
I really am sorry about that, Philippe.
Are you sure you're all right?
You know, maybe we shouldn't go out tonight.
No, really, I'll be fine. I'll just go get changed and clean up,
Okay, let me help you, all right?
Be a good monkey and entertain our guests. Right, I'll be right back, okay?
Monkey, huh? I guess if I squint, I can kind of see a resemblance.
No. Steven's nickname is Monkey Island, but it goes beyond that. This home is called Monkey Manor, and Craig, for reasons I can only guess at, is known as the Pig.
Oh, so that explains those kittens.
I don't pretend to understand this.
Well, I know the whole story, but I still think it's some weird sexual thing.
It has actually helped us stay together all these years.
Truthfully, I don't really understand either.
Well, you see, Steven had gone on to London, but he told Craig that he was going to Florida. He went there to buy him a present, I think. But Craig thought that he had a trick over there. So he took this little toy monkey that I had given Steven. He tore off its head, ripped it apart, and left it castrated on the bed for Steven to find. From that moment on, the monkey.
You know, I wish I had thought to tell him I was buying him a present.
Oh, yeah, that's believable.
Well, leave it to Craig to chew the scenery.
He is all right, isn't he?
Oh, yeah, he's gonna be fine.
I feel a little bit too awkward asking him about his MS. I mean, it's so personal. but
Is
now-
this part of the MS?
I doubt it.
I think it's just what he said, not eating properly today.
If you saw him in dance class, you would have thought nothing was wrong. I mean, he was flawless. And he's a great voice. We did this benefit thing together last week. I just hope this won't affect his chances for that part.
No, really, I think he's gonna be just fine.
What part are you talking about?
Craig's up for the lead in a new musical. It's an agent submission, too.
And you know, if anyone deserves a break, it's Craig.
And I couldn't even get cast as a dancing Disney candle.
He just has to. Yeah.
You are young.
Oh, really?
You know, I wish Craig would tell his family what's really going on. It's cruel not to, especially his mom. It's just not fair.
The last time she was in town, she still thought you were just housemates. Does she even know he's gay?
I can't believe she doesn't know, but he refuses to tell her directly about himself or about us.
Why?
It's his vanity, I think. His family's always looked up to him, you know? They've always believed in his eventual success in the Big Apple, and he doesn't want to shatter their illusions. You're right? He's afraid that he's going to either, lose their respect or worse, feel that they're ashamed of him.
Why don't you tell them?
Oh, please, I am fresh out of Little Toy Monkeys.
Not really. Philippe just bought you a new one.
Well, there's plenty of time for him to tell her when he feels more comfortable with it. Barry, you ever hear of Final Exit?
It's a book. Dr. Kevorkian's Simple Home Recipes for the Do-It-Yourselfer. One of our patients gave me a copy.
Craig has a copy. I found it while I was cleaning up for the party.
No worries. This is just curiosity.
Okay, maybe, but who knows?
I know. Look, he might get depressed from time to time, but he's not suicidal. I mean, he finally has a chance to make it big.
Yeah, okay, but neither one of us expected a phone call from Herman either.
That's true, but I mean,
Oh,
that's
there.
Oh,
Oh, much nicer.
We should get going or we'll lose our reservations at the restaurant. You guys go on ahead. I'm gonna stay up behind to clean up with Stephen for a bit.
All right.
Good to see you again, Philippe.
Okay. Here you go.
Thank you, Barry.
See you after you.
We'll see you
Let's
guys
go.
there.
Don't be too late.
Don't worry.
What a wonderful evening this is going to be.
Yeah, it's very,
So
it's very special. We do have some wonderful friends.
and one shit.
We are a very special pair. Hey, what's the matter, Craig? What's the matter?
Sometimes it hurts when things go too well. You know it's bound to end.
I know how you feel.
No, you don't. You only know the little things that I tell you.
Don't be silly. I know everything about you.
We all have our secrets.
What secrets?
What movie are you going to
Boys.
see?
Sunshine Boys.
That movie that you hate so much, it really twists you.
Want to live?
Sure, but you don't know why.
You got a girlfriend?
I never really thought about it.
You remember when I was 14 years old and I was hitchhiking back to the movies back home?
I remember the story.
My mum was shacked up with her SOB boyfriend. Well, this guy stopped to pick me up.
Hi, where are you headed?
The one who nearly raped you.
How old are you?
I told him I was 16 years old.
But I don't see what any of this has to do with
The
these-
movie I was on my way to see was The Sunshine Boys.
Oh, God, so that's the connection. Well, honey, at least you got away.
You're the type of boy with natural curiosity.
Hey,
Just touch it. I'll pretend it's my girl. Talking sex sure can make you horny. There's no harm if you just touch it for a second. Then I'll put it away. Just wanted to show it off. To a boy with your natural curiosity.
You did get away, didn't you, honey?
I pleaded
Now
with him to
suck
let
on
me
it,
out.
boy. When I tell you to do something, you damn well better do it.
Pleaded and pleaded.
You think you want out of this car?
It was in some deserted parking lot.
Get out of the car. Now, boy.
Stephen, I can't breathe.
Slow down, honey, you are hyperventilating.
I was so weak afterwards. I
You
made
know
my way.
this is what you want.
I was bleeding. I sat in the bathtub for hours and hours.
Oh my God, Craig, why didn't you tell me this before?
Shame. I thought it was my fault. He started talking about sex the moment that I got in, and well, I listened for too long, and it became too late. Stephen, telling you this now makes me feel so much closer to you.
God, I love you so much.
I love you.
Craig, what are we doing? It's not even my birthday.
I haven't felt this way since your birthday.
Okay, but we are going to be really fashionably late for dinner.
It's a shame you guys had to cancel your trip to Mykonos.
It's no big deal, really. I felt that we had to go to our friend's funeral. Besides, with Craig's show opening in a couple of weeks.
This was your friend Herman who killed himself, yes?
Yes, but it's much more complicated than that.
I still can't believe it.
Well, it's awful, but he had the right idea. To
Right
right
eye-
courage. What?
Right idea, my ass.
So how did he do it?
Legal euthanasia.
I didn't know it was legal.
It is in Holland.
I never thought it was right to do it, but at least now I understand. Although Herman lived in London, he was Dutch. You know.
Oh, well, that explains it.
It was the most disturbing phone call I ever received. He called the night of our anniversary party, just before you all arrived. He had decided to kill himself the next day. Awkward doesn't even begin to describe that moment. No chit-chat, just goodbye.
Jeez.
It is legal in Holland. Euthanasia is legal. And how do you work this?
Broke.
Euthanasia is legal in Holland, okay? 2 doctors had to agree with his decision.
They were at his mum's house. His mother and his lover were there the whole time.
Yeah, and the doctor administered the fatal potion, and then sic transit Gloria Mundi.
Gloria who?
Backup singer for Madonna.
Right. His timing was always really off. He wasn't even that sick. He was just a little tired, a little weak.
You don't know that. Some of you look a lot better than they feel. Besides, it's obvious to me that his decision ennobled him. I, on the other hand, would want to just disappear.
What do you mean disappear?
Like I said, disappear. That way, if I killed myself, no one would ever know. There would just be wild and fantastic stories. People would claim to have seen me in the south of France, others in London, others in South America. My name and memory would live on and on.
Yes. Well, don't forget the sightings at the Black Party and the guest appearances on the Robin Bird show.
You are such a romantic, Philippe.
I'm just so sick and tired of funerals.
Well, if it was my choice, I would have rather gone back to Mykonos than attend a funeral in Rotterdam.
I'm sure we all would have rather been in Mykonos, but that's life, you know?
I know I'm being petty, but I don't know when I'll ever get back there again. I dream of eating moussaka on the beach at Super Paradise, and those nights in front of Piero's bar with the streets packed with boys.
It is not just the boys and the food, but the stark beauty of the place.
The most barren mountains and the water crashing up against them. It must have been that way when time began.
If there was ever a place I could believe in the hand of God, it's there. That feeling always touched my soul.
A lot more than your soul was touched in those mountains.
At 5 p.m., a parade of horny sausages would climb up those hills.
Yeah, Craig used to tell me that he took his solitary hikes up there to sing at the top of his lungs. Julie Andrews.
Okay, it looks like you guys are dating.
I confess.
He's great in bed, and he helps me with my homework.
He is also great in bed, and I'm learning all about the accoutrement.
What?
The titty clams.
Oh.
But those were a little too painful.
Alan, you pedagogue!
So, Alan, how was your St. Vincent's experience? Thanks. Were the nurses nice?
Not especially. The one evening nurse tried to seduce me.
Oh.
You never told me.
Oh, secrets. Not a good way to start a relationship.
This Spanish nurse got in bed with me.
No, he didn't. Did he?
Yes. As he was rubbing my legs, feet.
Rubbing how?
Well, oh, you're so nice. I should get down with you. I want to be your friend. I don't think so. I'll buzz if I need you.
So, show us your scar.
Oh, yeah.
What actually happened?
It was a turning point in my healing process.
I think I saw this video. Wasn't Jeff Stryker in it?
I wish. Oh, my lower extremities.
When are you going to show us your scar, Alan?
Show them and I'll give you a new one.
All thanks to an inguinal hernia.
The hospital scared the shit out of me to begin with. And having surgery, it had me terrified. I was really afraid I might die under anesthesia. Philippe told me these things can sometimes happen.
Nice going, Philippe.
Anyway, what got me worrying about what happens to a person after they die, you know?
What do you think happened?
They're either buried or cremated.
Oh, ignore him, Alan. What do you think happens?
I'm not sure.
Do you believe in an afterlife?
I guess so.
Since it's my choice of what to believe in, I want to choose a belief that makes me happy.
What belief is that?
Forgiveness.
What do you mean? Forgiveness by whom?
By God. I have to believe that Herman was forgiven for taking his life. His next life has to be better.
Click those ruby slippers, honey. This isn't Kansas. God is dead. There are no miracles. When you're gone, it's over.
Always the optimist.
I don't really believe in any organized religion, you know? I mean, they just seem to persecute and divide people.
Objective evidence, that's what I need to believe in an afterlife. I just can't do it on blind faith.
You'll never get that.
Well, anyway, I take my comfort in gravity. That's my objective evidence that something beyond this life is scientifically possible.
Thank you, Mary Poppins.
What do you mean?
Well, gravity's dependable, right? You can't see it, you can't touch it, you can't measure it. Thank you, but you trust it. That invisible attraction between you and the Earth is a physical constant of our existence.
Unlike the totally invisible and completely inexplicable attraction between Alan and Philippe.
In a way, any object that has mass has a gravitational attraction to any other nearby object.
And we know Philippe has mass. That's probably why we're dating.
Okay, but the object is small, then the attraction is theoretical, evidenced only by the objective attraction of other larger objects.
Okay, let me see if I understand this correctly, all right? Alan's a small object.
I can assure you it's not.
Oh, what gallantry.
Well, my point is that if such an unmeasurable invisible force can exist between any two objects, then it's scientifically possible that there are other invisible, unmeasurable forces that exist beyond our ability to detect or even understand them. Maybe even a non-physical afterlife of psychic energy.
What?
Thinking about this stuff just gets me worried and upset anyway. I mean, I got enough to worry about. A friend of mine from college just tested positive.
Oh.
What friend?
It's no one you know. If I tested positive, would you dump me?
What are you talking about? You told me you were negative.
I just want to know. Would you leave me?
Don't bother me with these stupid hypothetical questions, huh? Just stay negative. I've got to find the bathroom before my next drink. I'll be right back.
Chili chat.
Craig, go ahead.
Oh, give us a show, give us a show.
Posterity.
It wouldn't be a party at Monkey Manor unless you're dancing.
Give us
It
a
has to be
Christmas spectacular.
Christmassy. Do the Nutcracker
Oh,
thing.
that's happening later.
Do the dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy. Or the
He's on
English
point,
Fairy.
he's on point.
Do Swan Lake. Do
Yeah.
the funny girl Swan Lake.
And the swan is dead. Thing of beauty.
I love it. Craig, you're MS. It's not getting any worse, right?
Ask my doctor.
No. It's just that with rehearsals so intense these past couple of weeks, his balance is a little off. He's just a little tired.
I need to tell you guys something.
Oh, we know. You love him.
That story I told before about the nurse, it's not quite true.
What part?
It was the night before my surgery, right? And this really hot nurse asked if I want a back rub. You know my Latino fantasies.
Okay.
One thing leads to another, and we wind up in the bathroom.
Oh, wow.
I got a little carried away, and I let him put it in. I mean, just for a moment, you know? I mean, fuck, who carries condoms to the hospital? It wasn't like he came in here or
What a
anything.
fucking stupid thing to do.
I know. It won't happen again, I promise.
Hey, Alan, are you going to tell Philippe?
Not until, well, I'm freaking a little bit. I mean, I've got this paranoid feeling. I need to get tested again.
Monday morning, come to the office. We will sort this out.
I can't tell him until I'm certain nothing went wrong.
What are you saying?
He didn't care if we used condoms or not. He said he assumed I was positive because I didn't stop him. He told me after he was positive.
God, you poor kid.
I'll never understand that.
I'm so sorry I yelled at you.
Don't be, it's my own fault.
I know that, but I'm just sorry you're dealing with everything that you are.
I can't tell him, I mean. He's gonna leave me, won't he?
I don't think so.
We will never leave you alone.
I need a boyfriend. I don't want to be alone.
You're not alone. You have us.
Friends can be better than lovers.
I'm alright. Don't let me ruin the party. Just tell me I look okay?
You look better than okay.
It's crazy. I'm so worried, but not about whether I'm positive, but whether he'll leave me.
Once, when I was on one of my solitary beach walks in Mykonos, I came across this bum who was filthy and unkempt, who was lying on the beach. Well, I got close enough to him, and he sat bolt upright and looked out into the water, and he said, "You worry, it happens. You don't worry, it happens. So I don't worry." Well, he passed right back out into his drunken coma, and you know, that one experience changed the way I look at all the obstacles that I face in my life.
Sorry, I don't really understand that.
Worrying about things that you can't control, things that you have no power over, it's a waste of time. It's a waste of energy. Besides, life is too short. I'm sure that telling Philippe, no matter what the consequence, is the right choice.
Tell me what?
About the Mykonos beach bum that changed Craig's life and drinking habits.
What are you guys talking about?
Nothing important. Let's talk in the kitchen.
I cannot believe it!
Oh, another of your fab parties.
Fab theme parties, and tonight's themes are absolute secrets and fabulous surprises.
My God. What is Philippe going to do when he finds out?
Oh, his HIV phobias run pretty deep. He has never been able to handle losing so many friends. It's why he always runs from relationships. I can just guess what direction he's going to run in now.
He's really fallen for Alan. This is the first time in the 15 years that I've known him, so...
So that's what this is all about. You couldn't even tell me the goddamn truth.
Right
I
on
was afraid you
cue.
couldn't handle it.
No, you're wrong. I refuse to handle it.
One mistake doesn't define a relationship.
Bullshit.
Please don't act this way.
I won't be anyone's fool.
It wasn't about you, Philippe.
Were you ever planning on telling me?
Of course I was.
When? After you moved in with me?
No, when I felt comfortable enough.
Hey, this is Christmas time, and this is...
Fuck Christmas, Barry! And fuck you!
Come on, Philippe, give him a break.
You cannot trust anyone.
Look, there's a time and a place for this.
Oh, there is a time and a place, alright, and it is past. I'm out of here.
You're so callous.
I was your boyfriend. And every Tom, Dick, and Harry knows your ass before I do.
I'm the one who just might be positive here, remember? It's my life on the line.
Oh, yeah. Well, you did a pretty good job of fucking up mine as well. I trusted you. You fucking lied. Prove to me it's you in the fucking face. Don't you bother calling me asshole.
Fucking asshole. I'm sorry I ruined your Christmas.
You didn't ruin our Christmas. There's something I need to tell you. I don't have
I can't believe that guy. I mean, what fucking balls? I'll take care of it. You stupid son of a bitch!
No, darling. No.
You're not supposed to be here for another week.
Well, darling, it's Christmas. My business trip ended early. Presents. And I wanted to surprise you. It seems I did.
Let me get your coat, Mrs. Lane. It's nice to see you.
I'll take the presents. What pretty wrapping.
They're not for you, Barry.
Dang.
Oh, my gloves. Here we are.
Okay, you got it?
I'm sorry if I arrived at a bad time.
Not at all. Our little party was just ending.
Hey, you know what? It's so nice to see you, and Merry Christmas, and how have you been?
It's nice to see you too, Barry. I've been very well, thank you.
And you have already had the pleasure of meeting Alan.
I'm so sorry, Mrs. Lane. I thought you were someone else.
Oh, don't worry, dear. I am someone else. Besides, I'm a big girl now, and it's not the very first time I was ever called a bitch.
I've got a cocktail.
God, I'd love one. You know, back in Colorado, right about this time, I'd be having a Courvoisier or a vodka Collins. But, oh, you Jack Daniels. I'll have a very large Jack Daniels. With just a little
It's
bit
not
of
the no
water.
Howard. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
Oh, look, it's probably the ghost of Christmas past. I'll get it.
Oh, maybe it's Jeffrey.
Okay, who's Jeffrey?
Our ghost from back home.
Yeah, Craig has always believed he grew up in a house haunted by a ghost.
It's true. And we named him Jeffrey.
What a lot of nonsense. Jack Daniels. My Mima used to drink that. Okay, I can't believe that a grown man thinks that he grew up in a house with a ghost named Jeffrey.
You'd believe if you would have seen my cats frantically chasing after him. You know, animals can sense things that humans just...
Oh, come on, that's silly. Our cat Puss is lucky if she senses dinner.
And some people are just more aware like Craig. He has his father's sixth sense.
That's the truth. When my father died, I was all the way across town, but I knew the exact moment that it happened.
Well, I'd love to see how the Twilight Zone ends, but I've had a long day. I have an early morning. I'm going home. Okay? It was nice to see you. I'm going to see you again.
I'd love it.
I will see you guys out.
I know the way. This was the best party.
It's very nice to meet you, Mrs. Stevens.
Likewise, Alan. Good night.
Let's get out of here. Ghosts and cats and beer. Oh, my.
You know, I've always felt that if something makes you feel better by believing in it, you should choose to do so.
You know, I think I heard Craig say that. Why don't we have a toast to mother and son?
To us all and those like us. Damn few.
And to Puss, our psychically challenged feline. Bottoms up.
You both know that I've always been open-minded.
What's on your mind, Mum?
That photo, the one that fell, and it wasn't Jeffrey. You know, nobody tells me the truth about a damn thing anymore, so I'm just flat out gonna have to ask. Stephen, you and Barry are gay, of course, aren't you?
Mum, I won't let you ask Stephen such personal
Craig,
questions.
it's okay. Of course we are.
Well, son, are you?
What did you say?
Would you like me to leave the two of you alone? I think I'm just going to go step.
Stay. Please. Why couldn't you have just arrived when you were supposed to?
I would like the truth.
I'm just
now.
going to go.
Yes, I am. Of course I am. What am I saying?
You know, when Craig first got MS, I was so grateful to you and Barry for taking care of him. I thought I'm so lucky to have friends like you, but I just never knew.
Well, now, thank God you finally know. Denial and silence never protected anybody, and now at least we can keep the pictures on the table.
You know, son, he gave you so many opportunities, thinking eventually you'd tell me. Do you really think I didn't suspect?
Well, we never talked about it.
Look, I really am going to leave the two of you, okay? I'm going to go freshen up for bed.
Thank you, darling. I don't ever want there to be any secrets between us again.
Are you so sure? I never thought you wanted to hear the truth. Our family always denies the truth anyway.
What are you talking about?
Our dirty laundry. The reason why my brother has nothing to do with us. The reason why he fled to Canada. The things that we're not talking about.
Your brother went to Canada. He's just a free spirit like your grandfather.
Mom, if you can't even be honest with yourself, how can you demand honesty from me? He fled. Besides, who would want to stay in an abusive home?
Abusive?
Yes, abusive. Remember?
Remember what?
Being beaten by that SOB boyfriend that you call my stepfather.
Beat.
Yes, I was too young to stop it.
You really don't know what you're talking about.
You can't have forgotten those beatings. I'm sure my sister and long-lost brother haven't forgotten them either.
When he drank, he wasn't himself.
You're serious?
Couples have fights.
Fights? Mom, the day he knocked you down in the kitchen, I thought he would kill you.
It wasn't like that.
It's time for some truth, Mom. Are you listening?
You think I like having to do this?
Don't. Please don't do this. I do listen to you.
You fucking bitch whore. I told you never to speak to me that way.
Get your hands off her.
Watch your mouth, boy. Didn't your father teach you any respect? You just asked for another beating.
My father was alive.
Well, he's not. I'm your father now. You'll take your orders from me, you snot-nosed little brat. Now get back to your room.
Keep your hands off of her, you asshole, or I'll fucking
You gonna
kill you.
stop me? Don't start with me until you can finish it, boy. Fucking little mama's boy's what you're raising. Get back to your room. Your mother has this coming. You asked for this. Try lying to me again.
I'll fucking kill you!
You're not man enough.
Get your hands off of
You
her!
two make me sick. I'll deal with this shit later. I'm going back to the bar. If you're smart, you won't be here when I get back. Got that, mama's boy? And I'll deal with you later, bitch. This ain't over.
I'll kill you!
Who the hell do you think you're talking to?
Would have killed him if I couldn't.
Craig, this conversation is just crazy. Stop it. Give it to me. I'll remember, okay? Oh my God. I do remember. I just wanted to wipe it from my mind. Pretend it never happened, and the guilt. I couldn't face each day remembering the truth.
I never told you the truth because I never wanted to hurt you.
I never brought up the fact that you're gay because I thought you were too uncomfortable with the truth.
And I just thought I would hurt your feelings.
It's being in the dark that hurts. You know, it crossed my mind many, many times, of course, but until I saw that photo, I always thought that Stephen and Barry were... Why didn't you tell me a long time ago?
We've been together for 10 years.
I hardly know anything.
Mum, when you kicked Dad out of the house,
I never kicked him out.
why couldn't you and Dad have worked things out?
I tried the best I could.
You should have tried a lot harder.
There were reasons we couldn't stay together. Your father had his secrets too. You don't know. I put up with a hell of a lot trying to make a good home.
Well, you should have known that living with that alcoholic animal, that asshole, made our lives hell.
I'm sorry, honey. After your father and I split up, I was confused. I was scared. I felt trapped. Finally, I just had to push it from my mind.
We were all in that trap with you. I hated you for years.
Oh my God. Don't hate me, honey. Forgive me. Please forgive me.
Mum, I forgave you years ago. I realized we're just a family filled with secrets.
It's all my fault. We didn't talk long ago.
No, it's not. I'm at fault too. All these years lying to you, telling you that Stephen's just my doctor and friend. I feel so ashamed.
Are you two feeling better now?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh,
I love you, Mum.
I love you too, sweetie. Well, I should let the two of you get to bed. I'm feeling kind of tired myself, so I'll just say good night.
Good night, Mum.
Hey, darling. Good night, Stephen.
Good night, Mom.
Thanks.
Sweet dreams, Mum.
Sweet dreams, darlings.
Mum. Well, you get to entertain Mum for the rest of her stay. I don't have any time.
That's fine with me. She seems like a great lady.
Stephen, this rehearsal schedule is killing me. I'm getting so thin.
You look great. Will you stop worrying?
You know, there are times when I think I'll beat this. It helps me to think that I have some control over it.
Stop worrying so much. You're never gonna get to sleep.
Darling, I'm gonna stay up and meditate for a while, okay? Can you shut the lights out?
I will just say good night, Gracie.
Good night, you old Simeon. I love you.
I love you too. Good night, sweet prince, and flights of angels sing thee to thy rest.
Who's there?
I only said that to you at bedtime every night for 12 years.
Act 5, Scene 2. I don't believe it. I'm demented. Stephen! Stephen, wake up!
Sound sleeper,
Dad?
in the flesh.
I'm dreaming, right?
Oh, that's a pretty shabby way to greet your father after 20 years.
demented. I don't believe this.
Son, haven't you always believed that I was looking out for you?
Well, yeah, I always wondered if you were one of my guardian angels.
Well, then even if you are a little demented, don't seem so shocked to see me. I thought you could use my help, and I know your mom would like to have me here with you.
How do you know what she wants?
I spent more time in that house than you did. You renamed me. What was it? Joshua? Jeremy?
You're Jeffrey, our ghost? I knew it.
Well, there's a lot you still don't know. Son, it's not easy to face you and tell you the truth, any more than you can face your mom. She has the same sixth sense as you know.
Ted, I'm afraid that I'm dying.
I know, but I want you to know there's nothing to worry about. I had a stroke and you'd never know it.
This is a fucking dream, I don't believe it. Stephen, I'm too sick for this. Stephen, please wake up!
He is definitely a sound sleep. Craig, the time has come for the truth. First from me, then with your mom, and finally with Stephen.
What truth?
So much for psychic awareness. I guess this all hits a little too close to home.
What do you mean?
My secret. Think about it, it'll come to you. Did your mother ever tell you about my trips to L.A.?
Yeah, she always complains about you and Barney going off to see someone named Debbie.
Reynolds. Yeah, back in the day.
The real one? I heard she was a dyke.
Nasty rumor, that. Sister of Sappho, I think is what we called it.
So it's true.
Back then people just didn't talk about such things.
What things?
Ask your mom about our secret. Or for myself, I guess I should say my secret.
So you're saying that you, Barney, and Debbie Reynolds all shared a secret?
That's right. But I was gay.
Oh, I don't believe it. And you say you're here to help me? How, by fucking up my brain?
No, by freeing it.
This just blows me away.
Your mom knew for years, and even though we hadn't had sex in all that time, she would have stayed together for the sake of the family.
But I always thought she divorced you because of things like money and responsibility, and that you were just such a free spirit she couldn't deal with this.
You know, she followed me to Barney's place one night and caught us in flagrante delicto. Or, more bluntly, with our pants down.
I don't think I want to hear this part. You're supposed to be my guardian angel. All the times that I needed you, where were you? What do you think? You can just come back into my life now and... It's just like the Sunshine Boys all over again. It is the weak and innocent who always suffer.
Son, I'm sorry, but there's no need to be so melodramatic. Fate is clearly not always kind, no more or less so to the weak and innocent.
If sorry doesn't cut it, Dad, tell me why. When I'm being raped by some fucking prick, you're off having a final fling with Barney somewhere in time. Tell me why this happened to me. Why? With all my hope and everything, why did this happen? Why, some fucking guardian angel that you are. Why did God let this happen to me?
Rick, if there really were an all-powerful, all-knowing, all-loving God who interfered in the life of each and every person, this never would have happened to you, or to Herman, or to anyone else. People underestimate the laws of chance. You can bet that God's hand set them in motion, but that's where it ends. It's not as if we guardian angels have great powers. We're just guiding spirits alive in your memory, able to build and sustain your spirit. Our earthly presence can help mold your soul. My guardian angels couldn't change the laws of the universe that chanced upon me any more than I can change your fate. But I'm here now to help nurture your soul before your passage into eternity.
Look, Dad, I knew I wasn't Michelangelo. Maybe you know he was gay. But was I so full of myself to think that I could leave an artistic legacy?
Son, some legacies are just not artistic. You simply have to come to appreciate them as if they were. To know that one life has breathed easier because you have lived. This is to have succeeded.
Is that Emerson?
Yes, you might want to read it through.
Dad, I'm afraid. I want to make it till opening night. I just don't think I can hold on.
Son, there's a place that we all come to. Each of us in our own time, and each of us in our own way. But you linger somewhere, suspended between life and death. Your mind torments you as your body fails you. Life is too painful to endure, but death is still too frightening to embrace.
Just tell me something. Am I so wrong for wanting to give up?
Son, It's not a single decision that defines your existence. Only you can decide how much you can bear. Your soul transcends that decision.
Would God forgive me?
When you think about the stunning advances that man has made in science and medicine, it's a wonder how little religion has changed. Modern religion remains mired in tired old rituals, ancient taboos, and senseless prejudices. Where's the quantum leap forward in religious thinking? Where is religion's Einstein to help enlarge our notions of God and eternity? Over the past 2,000 years, life's secrets have been unraveling, from the mapping of the genetic code to the physical laws that govern the universe. It was only a couple of years ago that scientists discovered the top quark, the last of 6 predicted particles that make up all physical matter. And from there, it's a hop, skip, and a jump to the Higgs boson.
What the fuck are you talking about?
The answer to your question, will God forgive me? Never mind. I have faith in you, Craig. I want you to know it'll be all right. You're too good a person for it not to be. Well, I've got a party to go to, and I'm at the piano. Come give your father a hug before I go. Good night, sweet prince.
It's my option, Barry. There's no way to stop me if that's what I want.
Don't talk like that.
It's the only thing that gives me the hope to go on, knowing that I can choose the day. You know, there are worse things than dying. Barry, I want you to bring me my option now.
What do you mean?
Stephen doesn't know it, but over the last few months I've stored some sleeping pills and painkillers around
I
the
knew I
house.
should not have given you that book.
I want you to bring them to me. They're hidden on the bottom shelf of the bookcase in my bedroom.
No. It doesn't make sense. Look, I have told you that I'm here for you. I don't want you doing anything on impulse.
It isn't impulse. Stephen has to feed and bathe me. There are times when I have to crawl up and down the stairs just so he doesn't see me lose control of my bowels. Please, you can put them over on the desk over there. I won't have to walk to get to them.
Look, why don't we just leave them where they are, and if the day comes, I'll get them for you,
Don't-
if I have to.
Don't argue with me. You can't stop me. There's no way to stop someone who's committed to dying from taking their life. Besides, it would be better for all of us. Please bring them to me now.
All right. I will get them. I will be right back.
Harry, please don't take it so hard. You know I believe in reincarnation. Jeffrey taught me that much.
Of course, Jeffrey. How can I forget about Jeffrey?
Look, my favorite movie is a 1937 comedy called Topper. It stars Constance Bennett, Cary Grant, and Roland Young. Well, Constance and Cary in this film are ghosts haunting poor Roland's life.
Yeah.
I always dreamed that I was Cary playing that role.
You know that I never believed that you grew up in a house with a ghost named Jeffrey, don't you?
Not many people did. Once when I was on holiday from school, this girlfriend of mine came home with me. Well, her, my mum and I were sitting around the dining room table, and she was going on and on about how she didn't believe in ghosts. Well, all of a sudden, this plate flew from one end of the table to the other. She was out the door in a flash, never to return. You know Ian, her ex-lover?
Yeah.
He claims to speak to him through a medium.
Too much acid.
Just tell me, do I take the one for nausea a half hour before the rest?
Hey, guys.
I'll tell you later.
I'm going home.
Thank you for coming, Craig, Barry.
Anytime.
Craig, what's with these bags?
I want you to take those things.
Why?
I separated them into 2 piles, one for my sister and one for my mother. I want my mum to have all the stars' autographs and my old playbills. I want I want my sister to have all the family photos. They won't mean anything to anyone
I do
else.
not want to do this now, okay?
You have to. I spent all day going through papers and files and threw out things that I knew I wouldn't be needing. Stephen, it's time for you to be strong too.
Craig, why are your camera and your watches on the bar, on a mantelpiece?
I just don't care about possessions.
Okay, well, I'm gonna put them back in our bedroom where they belong.
I want you to use them.
If I want to use them, I'll go get them, okay? That stuff that you throw away.
Casting files, old headshots, receipts, travel information, the old resume.
Why?
I know this is going to be my last year. I keep hoping that I'll beat this, but there's just no
You
chance.
still can.
One last thing. Please come sit here. I want these photographs to be cremated with me.
Craig, this was your mother when she first moved to New York, right?
Yes. And I especially love this one of you. Framed in the light of the window at the Castro bar. You look so handsome. The way the sunset lights the sky behind you.
Oh my God, we were so young and beautiful.
So healthy.
This one too? Puss?
Yes. Stephen, I don't want to die.
Shh, Craig, don't talk like that. You have got plenty of time.
There was only a chance.
Of course there is.
Sweet liar. I don't want anyone to know the truth.
Even poor Alan still thinks it's MS.
I know. The moment of truth passed. If Dolba had not run, he would have heard. But, Stephen, ever since I lost the treble and bass in my hearing, music has become so distorted. So much so that it makes me cry. I can't read anymore, I can't focus. My eyes hurt and it just makes me so sad and lonely. I don't want you to go out dancing and going to dinner anymore. Stay with me so I can heal, please. Only after I'm gone will you realize you mean more to me than anyone in the whole world. Even your parents.
Craig, you don't have to tell me all this. I know it. I love you too. I'll do whatever you want. I won't go out. I'll stay with you, okay? Don't worry.
Do you ever wonder if life would have been different, at least professionally, if we had moved to London all those years ago? I sort of romanticize this part, but I always thought that I would take the London stage by storm. When I was applying to the Royal Academy of Dramatic Arts, theatre in London seemed to be so ideal.
It would have been fitting to move back to your birthplace. I think we had more friends there than we did in New York.
I miss them all. It was you who wanted us to go back there.
To Bloomsbury, remember? Right across the street from the British Museum.
That flat was so perfect.
It had high ceilings
And fireplaces in all the rooms.
and that cobblestone covered courtyard out in the back.
It was so romantic.
It was so very romantic.
Stephen, who was that at the door?
A couple of packages were left for you. Want to see?
Yeah.
I bet I know what they are, and I bet you do too. You ready? The show jacket has arrived.
It's beautiful. Let me see the robe.
Alright, that's this one. Voila.
They were so sweet to think of me.
Yeah.
I really miss them, Stephen. Please, will you do me a favor? Go around the bath for me. I want to have a bath, and I want to try the robe on.
Okay. I don't think I've ever known anyone who loves baths as much as you. I will go fill the tub, and I'll be right back.
Wait a minute. There's something I want to ask you first.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of something called a head hawk and a bosom?
Where did you hear about those things?
I think I dreamed about them. So they're real.
Well, yes.
Maybe my father mentioned them. So what are they?
I think it's actually a top quark and a boson. The top quark is one of 6 predicted quarks that make up something called the Standard Model.
English, please.
Okay. Everything in the universe, from a grain of sand in Mykonos to a shooting star in a distant galaxy, is made of quarks. Even what appears to be empty space is really just a sea of virtual particles that appear and disappear for brief periods of time.
And your boson?
Well, the Higgs boson is a hypothetical particle. It's kind of hard to explain, but it goes to the heart of understanding the universe. See, the discovery of these particles may eventually help prove whether this world, this whole life, is really a fortuitous accident of random chance events, or actually some fundamental plan set in motion by the hands of God, a plan that contains all the forces of the universe.
How does that explain whether God will forgive me or not?
What?
Nothing, just something I think I dreamt once. You really are the only one who matters now.
Stop talking that way, Craig. You're gonna get better, and we've got years ahead of you.
Doctors are allowed those white lies, but I know this third act. It's like the most tragic of operas. Our love and my life are ending so painfully. I'm not even in my own bedroom, and if I only had the strength to get up and down those stairs. Stephen, this neurological shit has progressed far too fast, and who the fuck still gets PCV pneumonia?
Well, at least your mom was here when you got sick.
And that's supposed to be a good thing.
Things have turned out so differently.
I know all too well. Please put the music off. I can't bear to listen to it. Stephen? I miss the wallpaper in my bedroom.
I know.
From the mountain to Muhammad, or in this case, the flower garden. But that's why I chose that pattern. I want to spend my last days there reading all those books and listening to all that music that I never did before. Stephen, it's so painful for me. A dancer who can't walk, and a singer who can't sing.
Craig, I wish you'd let your friends come visit you. It's cruel not to. You know, Alan and Philippe still have no idea why you won't see them.
I told you. You're the only one that matters now. You're the only one that I want to see. Besides, they'll just have to respect my wishes. I have to know that they... I have to remember them the way that they were, and the way that... Oh my... I can't bear to deal with their sorrow. I don't want there to be a funeral. I just want to be cremated. There's no use taking up good space with an empty body. It's the soul that counts.
Oh, here's Mom. I'm gonna go draw your bath. Let me get this stuff out of your way.
Thank you, Mama.
Please, just...
Thank you, darling. Hi, honey. How do you feel today?
Better.
That's good. Is it time for your medication yet?
Not for another hour. It's still sore, Mom.
You know, when you're better, you can even swim with that under your skin.
We'll see.
That's what Stephen said.
Well, at least it was my ticket home. You know, this way I can get my intravenous medications here, and you know how much I hate hospitals.
I still can't understand why you got pneumonia twice this year. You know, Stephen won't discuss your health with me unless you say it's okay.
There's nothing to discuss, Mom.
I can't believe this is all from the MS. Children seem to think their parents are so stupid. You know, you haven't been yourself since you took me to Paris.
I don't think you're stupid. Just leave it alone.
Well, not knowing what's going on is what's killing me.
Mom, don't be so melodramatic.
I just need to know.
What is there to know? That I had my one chance to make it and I fucked it up? That now I won't even let my friends come see me because now I'm not even a waiter? That I wish you would go back home.
Darling, you're no failure. Damn this disease. It's not your fault. You're a good, sweet, loving, caring, talented person.
Mom,
Yes, dear?
there are times when I want to give up. Am I so wrong for not wanting to go on?
You can't give in to despair. We all have to hold on. Have faith. Tomorrow will be better.
Yeah. Instead of my Broadway debut, you get to see me in my sickbed. Life, huh?
There'll be other shows.
Not for me. I worked my whole life for that opening night. Mom, I only hold on for you and Stephen now.
You know, dear, I don't have to go home tomorrow. If you want me to stay, I'll call work and get the time off.
No, Mom, really. Barry can check on me in the afternoon while Stephen's at work.
I'd love if you'd come home with me.
Mom, this is my home.
Well, I'm your mother.
Mom, really?
Then I'm staying with you.
Mom, no,
Don't argue with me.
Don't-
I'm staying until I see that you can manage without me.
Don't argue with me. Mom, I had the strangest dream about Dad.
Don't you change the subject.
Did he know Debbie Reynolds?
What?
What did he?
Yes, through Barney, his best friend.
I seem to remember something about...
When they were off in LA on their trips, they would stay with her.
Barney?
Yeah, you remember Barney, I'm sure, but you might be surprised to know he was gay.
Alright, Mum. You can stay until I'm better, but you'll see. You'll be home before you know it.
Thanks, darling. You know, your Aunt Effie had MS also, but she didn't get very good treatment at all.
Mum, please don't start with Effie.
Well, it runs in the family.
Who cares about Effie? She's been gone for 20 years.
When Effie was
Who
diagnosed...
cares about Effie? She's been gone for 20 years.
I'm just saying it runs in the family. There's no need to raise your voice to me. When Effie was diagnosed...
Mum,
Craig, I know. It's AIDS.
who could you?
It is, isn't it?
Yes.
I've worried for so long. Since Paris. You were always so much more tired than I. Why didn't you tell me?
I never told you because with Stephen as my doctor, I always thought that I would beat it. Or at least outlive you so that you wouldn't have to know.
How long have you known?
9 years.
9 years?
I couldn't tell you. It's taken me a lot of personal courage to get up the strength to tell you now.
I can't believe you hid this from me for 9 years.
Mom, I couldn't tell you. Is it so wrong for me to want to spare you 9 years of worrying? It's bad enough that it starts now.
It's not right. It's so damn unfair. This isn't how it's supposed to be. Parents should not outlive their children. When you first wanted to go to New York, I was worried. But my fears are no match for all your optimism. You were so talented. I believed with all my heart that your future was there. I had such great dreams for you. I should never have let you go. All those grand dreams for what? I can't talk about this now. Not right now. I need some air. Oh, darling. I need some time.
Oh, thank God this day is over. Hi, Craig. I'm home.
Hello?
How are you feeling?
I'm not feeling any better. The metron's not working, is it?
Are you more short of breath?
Yeah. But my fevers are back.
Okay, I'm gonna call Barry. I'm gonna have him come over and check you, alright?
Stephen, I'm not going to get any better, am I?
Well, if you let us put you back on the pentameter, then your lungs will get better.
The rest of me won't.
Good night.
promised to tell me when it was my time.
Well, it's not, okay? Just let me call Barry.
I spoke to my brother last night.
There's no answer. Sorry?
He called me.
Oh, what did he say?
He said he was sorry. Stephen, why couldn't he have called when I was well?
Do you want your mother to come stay for another visit, Craig?
Yeah. She understood that our last goodbye would be our last. Besides, I spoke to her on the phone yesterday.
Hey, why don't I help you to the bathroom? I'll come back and freshen up the bed, all right? Okay, get up. There we go. I'll be right there. Be right back, Craig, okay?
Hey, Squeeze.
Thank God you're here. I just throw a ball on you. I am too close to this. I am completely incapable of making any kind of decision, medical or otherwise.
Okay, try to calm down.
It's just that Herman's death keeps haunting me more and more.
What is going on?
We see death so often. We get so accustomed to being around it.
Only you've never seen the suffering this closely.
It's a loss of all personal dignity along with hope and humor. You don't even realize
And you don't really see it.
until it smacks you in the face. He has been talking about his so-called option for months now. I thought it was just talk. I cannot bear to see him suffer, but I can't bear losing him either.
Look, I don't blame him for not wanting to stay on some 5-drug cocktail that does nothing but give him awful side effects. And it's not worth a damn anyway because his virus is now resistant to every drug in every class.
If there are more drugs coming down the pipeline, we could get him on the
As
fusion
long
inhibitor trial.
as he has his mind, it is his choice.
Our whole practice, specializing in HIV, all the cutting-edge clinical trials, it was always for him. Just to save him. And now with all the good we've done, all the people we've saved, and the one life that matters most to me, I can't do anything about it. It isn't fair.
So you're not God. You're not God. Does this come as some big surprise to you?
Yeah, maybe it does.
Stephen?
Now he's trying to play God, and what can I do if he fails? How am I going to let him face the aftermath of a
Then
failed attempt?
You let him do what he wants to do.
Would God forgive me?
Since when do you believe in God?
I just can't do it.
Okay, don't worry. I have already promised him that I will.
Okay, this conversation is not over, Barry. I'm coming, Craig.
Hi.
It's not working.
You know that if you're getting worse, you need to go back on the pentamidine.
I wouldn't go back on that again. Besides, it hurt me all over too much. The side effects were so painful.
I know.
Is there anything else you need, Craig?
Stephen, can you bring me some water?
I will be right back.
There you go. How's that? Okay?
Harry,
Yeah.
I spoke to my mum last night. She told me that my father was waiting for me on the other side. She told me that God will understand. I want you to bring me my option now. Bring me the pills.
Are you sure? I mean, are you really sure?
Yes, Mary. I'm sorry to do this before your holiday, but I just can't bear to go on this way.
You know, my holiday does not matter.
What's going on, guys?
Craig wants to take some pills now.
What pills?
Ones that I've been saving around the house over the last few months. The book says you should have very little in your stomach, like tea and toast. So I had something to eat before you came home. It's best to take them with alcohol, but you have to be careful not to upset your stomach or they'll come right back up. So I took the anti-nausea pill.
Craig, no.
Stephen, I don't want you here.
I'm staying with you.
All right then, here. Give them to me a few at a time.
Harry?
Yeah.
Will you hand Craig his water, please?
Yeah.
What's going to happen now?
You are going to go to sleep.
Stephen, I'm scared.
It's alright, it's alright.
Come here with me. I can't bear to wake up tomorrow and have to face this all again.
I'm not going to let that happen to you, okay?
Larry?
I'm here.
Stephen. Thank you. Everything.
I don't know what to say.
Curtain up or two.
Curtain up? Yeah. You know what? I'm going to leave you two alone for just a few minutes. I'll be back. I'll be right back.
Stephen, do you remember when I first came to New York? I had $200 in my pocket.
You were penniless in this city, and you were too naive to know it.
But I found a job within the week.
That's right, you did, didn't you?
It was in that upscale bar where I met that fat queen. I don't remember what his name was, but it was the same bar where I met you.
It was one of life's little coincidences. I was in there trying to line up a PR agency for the restaurant, and in walked the most attractive man in the place, walking right towards me. When Harvey, that was his name, when he introduced you as his personal assistant, I thought I was in heaven.
They'd won the lottery with that job, rubbing elbows with all the beautiful people. I was riding pretty high in those days. Parties by night and dancing, voice lessons by day.
I know you had no idea who Harvey was, but it really was no accident. I was there trying to line him up to do PR for the restaurant, since he was doing PR for just about everybody who was anybody back there.
I remember seeing you walk in. You were cruising me from the back.
Well, you were so attractive. God, I fantasized that you were wearing a half-open bathrobe.
It was my one and only suit.
We should remember it my way.
Well, the next day, I left Harvey in the high life and I put on my tightest tank top and my shortest pair of shorts. And I applied for a job in your restaurant.
Oh my God, running a medical practice by day and that restaurant by night was insanity. I don't think I could have made it through that time without you by my side. For 2.5 years, you put your life on hold for me.
For us. And so it began. With a simple goodnight kiss. The night you drove me home.
We kept that one kiss going till so long, all I could do was, I was so consumed.
Didn't.
Yeah, for the longest time.
And then by that time we were in love.
It was amazing.
But nothing lasts forever.
Those times seem so very distant.
Stephen?
Hey,
I want you to take the ring.
No, Craig, don't do this. Please, please.
Please. One day you'll meet a man who will give you his heart. I want you to give this to him as a gift from me. A reminder of the happiest times of my life.
There is never going to be enough.
Why, for the love of God, did this happen to me? All my hope and belief in the future. It was all an illusion. There's something I have to tell you. Something I've never told anyone before. When I first heard about this disease, I knew that I was bound to get it. Yet I was always good. I never hurt anyone. I always gave money to the homeless, and I always gave help to the animals. Well, I realized it never was my fault.
Oh, Craig, it isn't anybody's fault.
I was so alone, weak, abandoned. When he pulled up next to me, I thought I knew him. He smiled and he looked so attractive. It wasn't until I got in the car that I realized it wasn't who I thought it was. Do you remember a story I told you about a man that I once knew who had died of AIDS? I showed you his obituary in the Times. That was the man. The man in the car. I always knew I got it from him. Yet I was always good. My whole life. I realized something. It was my destiny. I was chosen as an example to show the rest of the world that this disease knows no boundaries. It kills the weak and the innocent. I always knew it was him.
I just wish to God I could have done something more. All I ever wanted to do was save you.
But think about everything that you have done. Through your practice, and through all the lives that you touch. You're my legacy.
Oh my God, my poor sweet prince, I love you so much.
Stephen, promise me something.
Okay.
Every year, I send my mum flowers. Promise me you'll send her roses.
Promise.
I can see all the colours. Pink and red and yellow and white. And one other thing. Promise me that you'll let us see me. That cat was my best friend.
I promise, Craig.
She has to know why I left her. Every man that I ever loved in my life left me behind.
I never left you, Craig. I'm here with you now, okay? I'm with you forever.
Promise me white roses, yellow roses,
It's okay, Craig.
pink
It's
roses,
okay, just rest.
red.
Oh, I love you so much, Craig. I don't think I've ever loved anyone the way I love you. Just sleep, okay? Your struggle's over. Your father's waiting for you. You'll go into that light, and I will stay with you until you let go. And you're going to be at peace. However long it takes, I'll stay with you till you let go. Oh, God, forgive me. My showerhead miracle. Even though I saw it with my own eyes, I'm still not sure I believe it actually happened. And even if Puss is psychically aware, I can't exactly ask her for confirmation. I've always wondered, though, if he would have left me had he been healthy. Craig wanted us to move to Bloomsbury years ago, right across the street from the British Museum, and it would have been nice, but it really wouldn't have changed anything. If he'd never moved to New York, that would have changed it all. If he'd never become infected that single fateful moment. And while I exceeded my expectations by becoming his partner in life, I am forever changed for having been his partner in death. After he died, I held him, caressed him, and kissed him all over for one last moment. You can almost feel the soul depart. The body grows cold and lifeless. I wanted to put him in my mouth one last time at that moment. I don't know why, but I did it. You think that's a little sick, huh? Sex with someone you love, it's not something everyone gets to experience. Although I don't think after everything that he ever really knew how much I loved him. He felt so strongly about leaving something of worth behind him, an artistic legacy, I think he called it. Just don't know if I qualify as an artistic legacy. But, well, we should really get on with it. Craig didn't want any kind of ceremony, but I wanted to recite a short Jewish prayer. It's called El Malei Rachamim. If you'll just read the lines that I underlined for you. I'm going to spread most of Craig's ashes around Monkey Manor. It seemed fitting that he should be in the garden and be part of the house. And I've already spread some of his ashes around Broadway and his favorite theaters. He said that would be fine. El Malei Rachamim Shochen Bamromim Chamtzei Menocho Nechono Al Kanfei Hashchino B'ma'alos G'dashim U'Tchorim K'Zohar Chorakeim Hazchirim Es Nishmas Ben Lein Shecholoch Le'Elmo Ba'avur Shenodvoz Doko Ba'ad Chas Korovs Nishmoso Began Eden Tehem Nochoso Lochein Ba'al Rachamim Yetzirei B'Sesek Genofo Flilamim Be'itzror Chachayim Es Nishmoso Adonai Hu Nachloso Ve'yanuach Al Mishkovo Ve'Shalom V'Nomar Amen.
O God, full of compassion, thou who dwellest on high, grant perfect rest beneath the sheltering wings of thy presence, among the holy and pure.
Who shine as the brightness of the firmament unto the soul of Craig Lane, who has gone on to eternity.
To laugh often and much, to win the respect of intelligent people and affection of children, to earn the appreciation of honest critics and endure the betrayal of false friends.
Lord of mercy, bring him under the cover of thy wings, and let his soul be bound up in the bond of eternal life.
To appreciate beauty, to find the best in others, to leave the world a bit better, whether by a healthy child, a garden patch, or a redeemed social condition.
Be thou his possession, and may his repose be peace.
To know even one life is breathed easier because you have lived. This is to have succeeded.
Amen.
Amen.